Hey guys, Claylex here. So, imagine if you will, right? Let's go back in time, nearly 9-10 years ago, back when E3 2015, which in my opinion is one of the best E3 conferences, showcases that we ever got. And Bethesda comes in. We, you know, I don't know what it is about this, and it's a weird thing to talk about a video like 9-10 years later ago. But to me, back then, Bethesda was still very much at their peak. 4 years after Skyrim came out, we finally got like confirmation that, oh my god, we're gonna get a Fallout 4 game. Then, Toddy boy going in, doing his usual stuff, but this to me, like, hit different compared to Skyrim in terms of the presentation, especially, like I said, you have people excited, you have to see, like, oh, we're gonna get, like, Fallout in the creation engine, oh, this is gonna be, like, so cool, whatever. But for me, this was at least a precedent in terms of what we got. And remember, this is just me before the actual game came out. This was actually when at least, Todd knew how to get the hype going and all that stuff. So obviously you can see in the presentation, Todd talks about, the artwork and then like all the concepts. We know that, it's going to take place in the East Coast in Boston, Massachusetts, all that jazz. And you go over here, some really beautiful artwork, and then obviously they go into the idea that, you are from a vault that gets cryogenically frozen, and you're technically very, very old, like over 200 years old technically. And then this pops in, which, let me tell you, and this still is, and I would dare even still say, this is probably the best character creation system Bethesda ever put in, at least in terms of the face. Not so much about the body, but the face is much better. I mean, at least then I was blown away. Graphics were still kind of meh. Like, I'd still like this game compared to Starfield. Starfield looks really, really bizarre, and somehow is like almost a step backwards in terms of their engine. But Fallout 4 actually, at least, in my opinion, at least like it actually looked like a step up compared to Skyrim. The faces looked, better, all that jazz. I mean, you could do like the whole sculpting, you could do your pick and slide stuff, but you can actually sculpt your characters and all that. That, to me, that like blew me away as a kid. So that was crazy. And obviously, you could switch to your female, play it like the way that they do it. That's kind of cool. And this I'll be honest though, with this intro was okay, but then kind of a bit annoyed going through it all the time with it. Then you go for the baby. This one here obviously is how you chose your stats. It was very interesting how they did it. Then we got the voice protagonist. I still was a bit iffy on that as well, and sadly it didn't work out in the end. I'll give it credit, they definitely balance it out in terms of the stats. They definitely took it more of a, I would say, almost a Fallout 1-2 approach, because at free in New Vegas, like, you could basically just max out 3 stats if you wanted. You can still kind of do that. You still can kind of do that with this character, but with the Fallout 4 characters, that's fine. They did the whole thing with the baby. And then like, if you name your character a certain way, they'll do that kind of thing. Then they went through the sequence. You get out of the vault, and again, this just honestly bedazzled me again. You gotta remember, I was 18 when this, so I was still kind of young and fresh with terms of like how this stuff was going, and it just, like I said, it just blew me away, the kind of stuff that they were doing. Then what was it? Then you talk to Codsworth, you go through that stuff, and then you can also do the charisma thing. There you go. It just it's like someone said, it's like set piece after set piece you get through in terms of this. Yeah, then you get dog meat, and dog meat is kind of like the dumbest, but also, I don't know. Dog meat is like somehow the smartest, but also dumbest AI I've ever seen with this one. Then yeah, you get through the bats, which is like much better improvement. If all three, I like the much better. Move slow motion instead of yeah, you're moving in slow motion compared to it being stand still. Then it goes, yeah, then goes into with the Pip-Boy. I used the app for a time, and it was pretty impressive, all things considered. That was pretty good. Yeah, you can play games on it, that kind of thing. Then they introduced it. They made a shit ton of money with this, man, let me tell you. Then, yeah, it's great. That's crazy. Yeah, give me, like, yeah, give me, like, this app, Fallout Shelter. And let me tell you, and once again, this thing made him a crap ton of money. Credit where credit is due. This actually, remember, this thing started a whole trend of Fallout Shelter-esque games. Bethesda started that. They made, like I said, they made a shit ton of money with this idea. Freaking crazy. Then we'll skip in a bit. Yeah, just skip in a little bit. Just like Todd talking about like the game and all that jazz. Then talk a little more about this. Then I think they do. Oh yeah, and then they talk about the settlement system, which once again I absolutely despise and I don't like. If it was me, this should have just been a mod or an expansion DLC thing. Just really, because the thing with me is that I like it better when with more RPG stuff and all, like more the devs actually doing their own thing, because when you do stuff like this, it just means like, oh, you guys have to make it, not us, and I don't like it. And yeah, too, the weapon armor customization system, a much needed improvement addition to Fallout, into the Fallout franchise. I appreciate that. That was a good one. Then yeah, then you do with your power armor. That was a good one. And then finally we get the weapon, I call it like the weapon armor showcase. So it just shows like the various armor weapons you get, that kind of thing. Just with was it Atom Bomb Baby in the corner. This one was like, out of all the Fallout videos, this is the one I kept repeating over and over again to watch before we got any new info on Fallout 4. And this is the first time we've seen with the power armor. So that was cool. And then, just doing the usual stuff. Yeah, you call Vertibird if you're with the Brotherhood. Yep, there you go. And then, it's like probably, I believe that's like one of the endings in the game. But yeah, overall that was just my kind of walk on memory lane with the Fallout 4 presentation. I really don't know why I made this. I was just like, I guess I was in an extreme Fallout mode, and I wanted to put this out there for you guys. But yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this walk to memory lane with the Fallout franchise. Sad that Fallout 4 didn't go as I wanted to back in 2015, but it is what it is. You live and you learn. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. If you like me, so I can follow the channel, sub, donate, it helps out so much. Gonna put out 2 more videos with this. You'll probably get this around Monday at 11 a.m. all that jazz. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and of course I'll see you guys later. Have a good one, and peace.